Hi guys, my name is Jack Boland, and I think that hockey is undoubtedly the world's hardest sport. So what makes hockey so hard? Well, there are close to 80 to 110 games per season. That's almost more than any other professional league sport other than baseball. During these games, the teams are expected to travel across the country and even into different countries for even one regular season game. Another thing is that the rules and regulations are seen like nowhere else in other sports. Players are expected to hit each other, take shots at each other, fight each other, and we'll touch on that later. Another thing is that the playoffs are unlike any other type of playoffs in any other sport. The playoffs in hockey are 7 game series, rather other sports, which are 5 or even 3 game series. Players are expected to give their 110% mental and physical capabilities for up to 4 weeks after their postseason. And lastly, according to SportsCenter.com, the hardest part about getting into hockey is actually finding public access to general hockey rinks. As a young age, people also assume to play football, soccer, or other sports because it's easy to pick up. However, with ice hockey, it's extremely hard to play ice hockey without actually having the ability to go onto ice. And that's just one of the many problems faces. So for player expectations for hockey, uh, players are expected to take shots up to reach up towards 115 miles per hour. That's the fastest shot ever recorded. But players are expected to block anything that comes even towards the net. Another thing is that players are expected to hit, check, poke check, trip, or do anything as they humanly possibly can to do as to stop the opposing team from scoring. Another expectation is that players are expected to have a high IQ and mental toughness and awareness. They're expected to take a punch, take a shot to the face, and get up and still be able to skate and defend their own net. And lastly, they're also expected to take the ultimate circumstance, which is fighting another player in order to assume regulations over the game, as you can see in the picture right below or next to it. So one of the examples of player toughness is actually Boston Bruins player back in 2013, Greg Campbell. He actually plays with a broken leg. Watch that right now. Sorry for the ad.
Back now, sized up by Ferentz. Checked by Ferentz. Puck forced along, but walked on by Malkin. Moves in and fires. Oh, and already down was Campbell. He's shaken up on the play. Regains his glove. Malkin again. And that one wide of the circle. It's over now to Malkin. Campbell reaching aimfully at Malkin.
Side, and there's this block shot by Gregory Campbell. And he was out on that ice for a good 45 seconds after he blocked that shot while shorthanded. We saw the same exact thing happen last night in
Sorry. All right. So also ice hockey is actually considered, is the 4th most injury-prone sport in the world, only following behind baseball, soccer, and football. And according to the HockeyWriters.com, all the injuries can vary from broken bones to even the extreme as cut throats. One of the most common injuries seen in hockey is actually broken teeth, as a lot of offensemen and defensemen have no front teeth or side teeth at all, and even they have very separated shoulders, torn Achilles, torn MCLs, ACLs. All these injuries are very common and prone in the sport of hockey. So another thing is the hockey players' mental conditioning, because it's not only about the physical conditioning of the team. It's actually about the mental capacity too. Hockey players are not only expected to put their body on the line, but they're also putting their mind as well. According to Persuasive.com, their hockey players are expected to have the soccer player's IQ while games are moving at basketball games pace. While all this is occurring, players are trying to find a 8-inch diameter black puck while they're going up to 35 miles per hour with up to 5.5 feet long sticks on blades an eighth of an inch wide. While all this is occurring, players and coaches are assuming that their players are putting 100% of effort into it and not messing up. For rules and regulations, a lot of people have a lot of misconstrued ideas of what exactly goes on for hockey and the referees underneath it. And according to thecowl.com, a lot of the hockey referees are actually taught on the situational plays rather than what's on the book. As you can tell, like for instance, if a hockey goaltender, in hockey you're not allowed to cross-check, which means take a stick and cross-check. But goaltenders are, you can see, as they always do, it's other opposing players. And that's just one of the examples that the referees are looking at a situation and they're determining that it's not relevant enough to the rule books where it is to make a call. And another thing is a lot more prevalent is they're actually allowed to fight each other, which is seen as taboo in other sports because no one wants to fight. But the refs actually look at this and see it as an internal way to regulate the game. They see that if someone performs a cheap shot or something worthy of fighting, other players will take it upon themselves to make sure that the other player that did the cheap shot will never do it again. And lastly, a salary cap is seen in every single sport, but in hockey, it's actually one of the most serious, stern, backbone salary caps seen in professional sports. This ensures that every single game, every single team has a fair and equal opportunity to win the cup, and not allow one team that just has the highest budget to win just because they can afford the most superstars. So what does make hockey the hardest sport? Have you ever played a contact sport? Have you ever tried ice skating? And have you ever watched a game of hockey and wondered how on earth are they doing that all on skates? And if you think that playing any sport that you know and play on feet, if we're converted to ice, if you think it makes it more difficult, please raise your hand. And now lastly, to see hockey in its true glory and to see everything I've been talking about, if you're ever in the area of the New York Rangers or the New York Islanders, the Rangers are actually the closest team to here, go and watch them play. Regulation games are always super fun, great atmosphere for everyone. Or if you don't feel like driving 4 hours, there's also these, actually, Tony Alton used to have an ice hockey team, and the assistant coach is actually still here. Her name is April Harper, and she'll be happy to tell you guys anything you guys want to know about ice hockey here or in just general. Or even just try pick up ice hockey with some of your friends at home, or just run around with some skates and the ball and play deck hockey. But all in all, in conclusion, I think that hockey is the hardest sport undoubtedly in the world.